Bum, ba-da, bum, 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 bum. Bum, ba, ba, bum, ba, bum. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Monday night mini medicine card readings. I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman. And the way this works is the first 6 people to come on and say yes in the comments get a, hey Emerald, you're number 1. The first 6 people to come on and say yes in the comments get 1 card reading. And so, hi Anna. Oops. So come on in, make yourself to home. If you would like a reading, just all you have to do is say yes in the comments. I will do that for the first 6 people, and if you are not one of the first 6 people, or if you are watching this on repeat, hey Kit Kat. If you're watching this on repeat, or you come in, you're not one of the original 6, that's okay. If you just choose a number between 1 and 6, and listen to that card. Oh, hi Carly. What is... yes, during. Hi Sage. I feel bad because like I'll post the event page or whatever. And it's like, first 6 people to say yes when the video starts. And a lot of people don't see when the video starts. And so I get all these yeses under the post, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, that's not the way it works. But did you want a card, Carly? I don't think you've said yes yet. Oh, yes. Sorry, I see you now. Okay, you did. You were talking about you fell asleep during the reading. Got it. All right. Everything is a little wonky at the moment for everybody. You coming back up, Missy? Come on. I was almost late because I had to feed her, otherwise she would not have left me alone. Of course, her favorite place to eat is right there. Whoops. And so she's going to eat her dinner while we're doing cards, and she might help. Anyway. And I also tell people, even if you have a card, if you're set up for a card, and you're watching, pay attention to the other cards as well, because we're all connected. And even though a card might be aimed at someone else, if you're, it's like you create your reality. Everything that you perceive is somehow connected to you. So if you pay enough attention, there's something in every single card for everybody. So anyway, so we've got 4 people. Give me 1 second. Gotta clean the spectacles if I want this to be spectacular. So, that's so much better. Wow. I can see. All right. So what else was I going to say? Oh, and of course, this video is free. Absolutely. My only ask is if you would please share it. You can share it to your page, someone else's page. You can tag somebody in the comments. I'm trying to expand my audience. So if you could do me the kindness of sharing this video, I would would be so grateful. And if you wish to give more than that, if you feel like you really got something from tonight, or you watch my videos all the time and you enjoy my work, you would like to support your friendly neighborhood shaman, I have my Venmo and PayPal links pinned to the top of the comments. And I'm so grateful for anything you wish to give me. This is my day job. So every little bit helps, and every little bit is like a gift. Literally a gift. So, all right. Well, maybe others will come trickling in. We've got 4 people so far, so we've got room for 2 more if anyone's out there and would like a 1-card reading. And okay. Well, Jennifer, I see it says you're watching. I hope you're still there. You want a card? They're free. Come and get them. Get them while they're hot. All right. We'll go ahead and start. Happy Election Eve. If I have time, maybe if no one else knows that, I actually was hoping to have a little bit of time to actually talk a little bit about the election and stuff. From my point of view, shamanic point of view, what have you. But let's do our readings first, the reason you came. All right, so Amaral is number 1. The reading is free, not my cards. Yes. Yes. So, all right. Amaral is first. Is anybody else? Hi, Esperanza. Do you want a card? I've still got a couple of spots. All right. Esperanza, you said hi, but not yes, but I'm still going to give you a card. So there. Haha, I read your mind. All right. So, card number 1 for Amaral. You got Elk in reverse. A lot of times, the first thing that pops up in my mind when Elk comes up reversed is it's almost like the hamster wheel. It's like running around in circles and not getting anywhere. It's like, it's a sign that it's time to ground. Well, it's like, it's a time to ground and a time to expand. Basically, reach to the earth and reach to spirit. It's like, okay, this is the weirdest visual that my guides gave me, but it's like you're like a top, like a toy top, right? And when it's spinning, it's like perfectly aligned, right? It's straight up and down, perfectly aligned. And as soon as it loses its momentum, it starts to wobble a little bit, and then it like runs out of gas, right? And it's kind of like that. Okay, I don't know if this is going to make sense, but this is what I'm getting. It's like that top, but how do I say this? It's like that gyroscope action, that spin, that helps keep the top upright, right? And so it's that spin. And so you're, I'm not sure how to put this into words to make sense, but it's like there's that gyroscopic motion that is needed, and it's like there's been like kind of a disconnect, like, antlers are always kind of they're an antenna reaching for spirit, right? And so when it's in reverse, there's been a disconnect from spirit. And so without that, it's like in drama class and stuff, right? When you're on stage, they tell you to pretend there's a nail in the ceiling, there's a string coming down from that nail to the top of your head, and just the thought of that makes you stand straighter. It's kind of like that. It's like losing sight of that nail. And it's like the top has this invisible axis, right? And it's like, because it's kind of gotten out of kilter a little bit, and it could be, the top, like, I don't know if this is just about the crown chakra or other chakras, but it might be other chakras, but I think it's mainly the crown chakra because of the antlers, right? And elk is about stamina. It's about that ability to run and run and run and run without ever getting tired. And so it's like you're running, but it's like instead of the energy spinning right around you to help keep that, it's the spiral, it's that sacred spiral, the DNA, the chakras, it's like that spiral, that gyroscopic energy that helps to keep you connected to spirit. And somehow there's been a break or a loosening. It's not necessarily that you're like down and out, but it's like there's an energy leak or something, so that instead of the energy spinning around you, you are running around the perimeter. Like you should be standing still and the energy swirling around you, because it's not. It's like you're on the perimeter of what should be spinning and you're actually running. So it's like trying to, it's like putting, how do I put this? It's all about energy, but it's like, it's trying to force something. Something's not right, and instead of just, breathing, aligning, boom, we're okay. It's like there's this effort and this trying to like push. It reminds me of a dream I had when, I was like probably 6 or 7 when I had this dream, and I still remember it. So, and put it in context, when I was a kid, Tarzan was my main hero, right? In fact, show you above my altar there, I've got Tarzan. It's actually a celluloid from the Tarzan cartoon. So I had this dream about that I was riding an elephant. Actually, the beginning of the dream, I was walking with an elephant. There was this elephant alongside me, and it was just kind of, that's weird. I've got the baby elephant walk in my head, but I can't think of the tune of it. It's like just kind of walking and meandering, and I'm trying to force the elephant. I'm trying to push it, to keep it going in the right direction, to keep it away from other things. And it is just, and I'm exhausting myself trying to push this elephant. The next thing I know, I'm on its back. And, you know, so basically connected to the elephant, in alignment with the elephant. And I found all I needed to do was, you know, pressure from my ankles or whatever, and the elephant would move. And so I don't know, I can't pinpoint exactly what it is. I think it has to do with the crown chakra, but Power Not Force. There's a book that I really want to read that I haven't gotten my hands on yet. And it's something about force versus power or something like that, but it's about how power is what naturally arises within us, and force is when we're trying to physically or, you know, effort towards something. So it's like, stop what you're doing. It's time to rest, right? In reverse, that stamina, that it's like your batteries are running low. It's time to take care of yourself. And like a meme I saw a while back, the universe doesn't want you to work harder. The universe just wants you to align. And so there might, you know, and being the crown and everything, it might be old thought patterns. It might be things you've never actually thought of, like little blind spots in your thought processes or something that that can no longer support the energy of who you are becoming. So relax, let yourself rest. You know, take a day off of work or whatever and breathe and just luxuriate. And, you know, elk are, it's so ironic because, you know, of course, humans, you know, the patriarchy, men talk about elk, and the, you know, it's like the male elk has this harem of females around him. And it's like, it's not that way. It's like the elk society is matriarchal, and the cows of the elk all hang out together, and they decide which stag they're going to allow to stay with them. That's exactly it, Amaral. It's like pushing the new things instead of allowing. And I was just talking to someone today about how, you know, this is going on for me, and it's like I watch people, every reading I've done, all the people I know are going through some form of this. But it's like that feeling of the rug constantly being pulled out from under you. And it's not it's not fun. It's not a happy thing. But the purpose of it, if you can glean the purpose of it, the purpose is to keep you in the present. It's like we have all these, we something happens, I know I do this, and it's like we fall into the pattern. It's like, oh, this happened, so okay, you know, tick A, okay, that one happened, okay, we go out with plan B, you know, and it's like this very regimented, and so that a lot of our lives are spent in pilot, you know, in pilot light mode. And so with all those things changing, it's forcing us to stay present and to stay centered, because, okay, this just came full circle. And so if you're chasing all the things that are spinning around you, all the chaos, all the things that are changing, all the things that are shifting, you're going to tire yourself out. You're going to run yourself ragged and not get anywhere. And so it really is about aligning, about breathing, about resting, and allowing. If the world is falling apart, allow it to fall back into place, right? And so it's kind of like, it's like for me, and I think that's part of why I've been so exhausted lately, because it's like one thing after the other. I've joked about feeling like Hercules doing his 12 labors, and it's like, one impossible task. Okay, that one's done. Oh, there's the next impossible task. There's the next one. And it's like just on and on, never ending. And it's kind of like what just clicked in my head when I first learned how to do shamanic journey, right? It's, it's that repetitive beat of the drum or the rattle, and that sound is what entrains your brain waves to like a theta level, and that's where you journey to the next realm, right? To the spirit realm and connect to your guides. The first time I was in a class to learn it, the teacher's drumming, and I'm like, okay, trying to, at my anchor point, this tree, I'm going to go down the tree to the lower world to meet my power animal. And how the heck am I supposed to concentrate with that stupid drum just banging away, right? And then it clicked. And then it clicked into place. At first it was distracting, and I was uncomfortable, and I'm frustrated. And all of a sudden, it just shifted into place. And I realized, I felt the drum beat carry me. It was holding me. And that's the idea. It's like the drum beat helps to hold you at that level so that you don't fall asleep, and then that you don't come back into full waking consciousness. I love that, Amaral. The world is on fire. Sit down and make s'mores instead of freaking out. Yes. And so it's like the world is spinning, and we're running around like chickens with our heads cut off, trying to fix things and hold things in place and to keep things familiar, keep things the same, so that we can fall back into our patterns, so that, okay, A happened, so I pick B, and that leads to C, and we're not actually present. So if you can see how so it's like that. There's this really good, okay, it's going to be a long night tonight. I just looked at the clock. We're on our first card. It's almost been a half hour. I'll try to wrap this up. But there's one of my favorite kind of meditations. There's this meditation where you sit quietly, you pay attention to your breath, but instead of trying to shut the world out, you open your senses and you listen to the sounds, but you keep your brain unengaged. You start to listen to the sound, and at first you're going to be like, oh, there's a bird, there's a dog, there's a car, whatever. But eventually it clicks in so that you're not labeling everything, and it's just this tapestry of vibration. And it relaxes you. Dr. Wayne Dyer talked about this before, and he was talking about a time he had to get a filling or something. He was in the dental chair. And so he decided to try that with the sound of the drill. So the dentist is going, and he's just blissing out, trancing out, listening to the sound of the drill, the dentist drill, like totally relaxed, totally out there. And then the dentist gets done and stops, and he was like, wait, keep going. He's like, your tooth is fixed. He's like, but I was just getting really deep. It was feeling really good. And so it's like anything that like one of the channels I used to follow all the time Bartholomew, he said, whatever it is God. Whatever the sound, whatever is around you, whatever is in your path is the path. And so you can surrender and allow reality to be just as it is, rather than trying to force it or change it. And it's like you're safe right here, right now. You're in the present moment. You're safe. You're always safe. You're always in the right place at the right time. And so if you can use the chaos around you as that kind of vibrational tapestry to kind of relax you, to bring you into center rather than pulling you out and scattering you, I think that is the goal. So try that. And I hope that made sense. I hope I didn't ramble too much. But all right. Card number 2. And we still have a spot left if anyone's come on and we're wondering if might be wanting a card. We've got one place left. All you got to do is say yes in the comments. All right, Anna, you are card number 2. All right, Anna, card number 2 is Lizard. Lizard is the dreamer. Lizard sits on his rock all day long. Oh, hey, Valerie. I gotcha. You are number 6. Woohoo! All right. It's funny, we've got a couple of Valeries on here, so. So Lizard sits on his rock all day long, basking in the sunlight, you know, and, well, to go into a story about it, he's sitting there, eyes closed, just basking in the sun, sitting, lying there just perfectly still, not even moving a muscle. And Coyote comes along and says, hey, what you doing? And Lizard kind of opens one eye, looks at Coyote and says, I'm dreaming. And Coyote is like, oh, so you're napping? And Lizard's like, no, I'm dreaming. Napping, sleeping is unconscious. I am actively creating my future with my thoughts, with my daydreams. I am setting my intentions for what I want to find and what I want to be and what world I want to live in, right? And Coyote's like, well, how do you know that I'm not here to eat you? And Lizard said, well, because I dreamt you earlier and I dreamt you with a full belly. It took me the longest time to figure out the meaning of that story. It was like, I don't get it. And then, I've talked about this before. I was out on this little retreat in the woods all by myself. It was after midnight. I'm on this picnic table doing pipe ceremony in the dark, nobody around. And I hear rustling in the bushes. And my first thought was like, oh my God, what if it's a bear? What if it's a cougar? What? Oh my God. And then it was like, wait. Number one, why would I manifest that? If I am the dreamer of my dream, why would I dream that? Because that would be a significant turning point in my life, right? And, I mean, it would change everything. if I were attacked by a bear or a cougar. And so, and you know, and it's funny because there are no accidents. Everything is on purpose. Everything happens exactly as it needs to. And so it'd be like, okay, if I were meant to have this big turning point moment happen, there's nothing I could do to prevent it. So I might as well surrender to it and let it happen, because it obviously, on some level, I've chosen it. I've dreamt it into being on some level. And otherwise, it's like I'm out here in the woods doing this. I'm centering. I'm doing pipe ceremony. I'm connecting to my spirit guides, etc. And chances are, it's a rabbit or something, right? It's like the chances of it being that are very slim. And so on that case, I wouldn't need to worry either. And so it's like I'm the dreamer of my dream. The world around me reflects who I am and what I need at any given moment. And I mean, and I could have been wrong. I could have been like, maybe that, you know, it's like so many people have like an accident or an illness or something that is this big turning point in their life, right? And it's that spurs them on to become their better self. And so, you know, I could see where that might be the case, in which case, what are you going to do? So going to fight like heck to, you know, not be eaten. But, you know, if everything happens for a reason and I am the dreamer of my dream, then it's kind of like that old saying from when I was Christian, when I was Catholic, that God's not going to give you anything you can't handle, right? And so bringing it back to you being the center of your reality, nothing is going to happen in your outer world that is beyond you, because you are the center. You are emitting this frequency that you know, the outside world reflects perfectly the inside world. And so, you know, the other part of that is that there's always the universe, the world is continually, constantly being created in every moment. And this world really, like even like the Aborigines in Australia talk about the dream time, and it was the dream time that, you know, where the world came from, and they connect to the dream time. And it's like it's like everything in the seen world started in the unseen world. Yeah, Lily, as above, so below. Exactly. And so if it's happening here, it's already happened there. And if it's happening here, there's a reason for it, right? If you, like I always talk about the Einstein's quote about the friendly universe or the hostile one, right? That's the biggest decision you'll ever make. And if you live in a friendly universe like I do, then everything that happens is for your highest good. And it's not from the perspective of there's this teacher up there giving me this test and, you know, railing on me to try to get it right, or like the narcissistic father in the sky saying, you will learn this, and, you know, I'll protect you whether you like it or not, right? If the simplest way to say it is there is no such thing as separation. Like I just said, like Bartholomew said, whatever it is God. We are all part of the same energy, and this world is a dream. This world is an illusion. We are not of this world. We are spirits having a human experience. And, you know, and that's like like if you've had an awakening experience, or like enlightenment. That's the whole idea, is that the whole idea of awakening is that you're awakening, like coming out of a sleep, to see what is really real and what isn't. It's not about something foreign, something, how do I put that? It's about seeing what is in front of you, seeing the reality of the energy of the vibration of everything around you, and how it's all temporal, it's all temporary. It might seem solid at the moment, but even this wooden table is 99% space. We just happen to be, our frequency just happens to be in that realm, of that spectrum of what the frequency of the table is, so it seems solid. That's the only reason it's solid. If we change our frequency, you know, you can walk right through the table, you can walk right through the walls. So, okay, let me try to reel myself back in from all the different tangents I just went on. And so, though we may seem separate here, like having a separate life here on the planet, and like there's someone else up there, you know, pulling the strings or saying, oh, they need to experience this. Boom, you know, zap, okay. That person up there, that entity, that being that we think of up there as separate, is still you. It's still you. It's nothing, so nothing is put upon you from someone else, because no one in the universe has the authority to tell you or to know what is best for you other than yourself. There is no being in the universe that is more powerful than you. And so there's not this, you know, and oh, I forgot the guy's name that wrote the Conversations with God, but he was talking about how there's no whiteboard in the sky someplace, and God's keeping a list, like, okay, they have, these are the requirements, okay, they got number 1, oh, they got number 2, you know, there's no one keeping score. That's you up there, in there, that is pulling the strings. And it's like, we talk so much about duality and being separate, and, you know, and in a way we kind of, because of our brains, we have to, that's the way our brains are set up, to see separation, to see division, but that's really only to keep us from walking into the walls, is to differentiate space from solid, so that we don't run into walls, is to help us find our way in the physical world. I mean, that's an oversimplification, but I hope you get what I mean. But when we talk about, you know, please let this happen, and, you know, that begging and pleading, like trying to please a master, please let me, you know, loosen my shackles or whatever. It is nothing like that. That's you. And the other thing is that, I can't remember who said it. I'm so bad at quotes. But it's like, basically, a lot of people pray to God when their cages are being rattled, not realizing that it's God that's doing the rattling, right? Because you're putting yourself in that cage, and the divine you sees the limitations, knows that you're more, that you don't belong in the cage, so your divine self is going to rattle that cage, shake it up, to help you realize your power, right? Does that make sense? It kind of goes back along with Emerald's about the, you know, when the the world is falling apart. It's actually falling into place, right? So I went on so many tangents. I apologize, Anna. I hope it makes sense. But the main message here is that you are the dreamer. And in a dream, anything you can face, you can handle. Even if you're quaking in your boots, you know. And the thing is, like, just with dreams, you know, like my dream with the elephant I was talking about, where I was down alongside it trying to push it, and all of a sudden I was on its back. You know, scenes change, things shift. That can happen in physical daily life too. We just don't leave room for the miracles. So no matter what you've dreamt into your life, it is always changeable. It is always doable. You know, and that's kind of the nature of the shadow work and stuff, right? The stuff that was scary to the little kid in you becomes the friendly monster that protects you, right? And that's that awakening I was just talking about, where you see things clearly for what they truly are, not what your filtering and your thought processes tell you they are. So keep dreaming, dream big, and know that, you know, the divine is on your side. Spirit, the universe, has your back, and it is telling you, guiding you every step of the way, you know. And sometimes things pop up and people are like, oh my God, the universe is testing me. And like, in a way, yes, but it's not like this, like, pop quiz, like, okay, this is going to go on your permanent record. It's like, okay, you know, this is something this is a pattern that you still have going in your energy. We just wanted to make it blatant, bring it in front of your face so you can see how it manifests, to see if you keep wanting to choose that. It's not a test like a right or wrong test. It's like, okay, this is what's happening in your energy. Do you want to keep dealing with this, or do you want to see beyond it and clear it? Right? All right. I'm going to try to be more brief. Thank you, guys. Thank you to those of you who tune in and watch from the beginning to the end. Because sometimes it does go long, and I do get long-winded. So, all right, card number 3 for Sage. All right, Sage, card number 3 is, you got Porcupine in reverse. Porcupine in reverse usually is a lot about reclaiming innocence, right? And it's about you know, Porcupine is basically the inner child. Porcupine wanders around the forest looking at all the pretty things, and, you know, not a care in the world, innocent of care, right? Pure and innocent. And you might think it's because he has the quills, but actually he has the quills because he's innocent. It's like, if you think of the quills as streams of light, of rays of light, it's like those quills are just a higher vibration, higher frequency of hair, right? And so he's surrounded by this higher frequency that protects him, because he is innocent, because He can absolutely be himself, and no one will challenge him or find conflict with him or try to harm him. So in reverse can be kind of the view of innocence in our society, where innocence is something that is rare and it needs to be protected, right? I'm try not to go into politics tonight, but in reverse, it's instead of that innocence, being self-protected, like the greatest protection. Kyle C. said this: the greatest protection is an open heart. The greatest protection is authenticity, being who you absolutely are. Because when we constrict ourselves, when we contract to try to protect ourselves, we're pulling in that light, that frequency. And so by protecting ourselves, we're actually opening holes in our energy field for people to come in. And that's where people get their hooks in you, right? That's where they find a place where they can get that hook in, and they can keep manipulating you or pulling on your heartstrings or making you feel guilty or shame. And so it's like allowing yourself to be purely innocent and like basic, like transparent. It's like when you're authentic, when you're purely who you are, there's nothing anyone can do to you. It's like I was just telling another client about it today, and like there was this comedian who was talking about how some magazine was trying to involve her in a scandal of some sort, and she was like, have you ever seen my routine? It's like her life is out there on display. Her life is her living. Everything that happens to her, she talks about in her comedy shows. So there's no place for shame. There's no place for scandal. Scandal can only happen when you're hiding something, when you're having secrets, when you're trying not to let people see something. And that's not to say that you shouldn't have privacy, or that, there aren't parts of you that you hold dear that only certain people get to witness, etc. But when we're doing that out of protection because we're afraid of what people might think or what people might do, how they might harm us, then I had a coworker one time that was like, one thing that his dad used to tell him was, there's going to be enough people digging your grave. Don't pick up a shovel and help them, right? And so it's kind of ironic, but it's like by trying to protect ourselves, we're actually making ourselves more vulnerable. And if we go back, refer to the lizard card earlier, the dreamer, there's nothing to be afraid of. Fear is an illusion. Fear is the biggest illusion in this dream production we've got going here. Fear is not reality. Only love is reality. So love yourself enough to stand without restriction. And it doesn't mean like without inhibitions and just going crazy and wild. See, that's the other part of our our general creation myth, good and evil, and that humans are basically evil, and if left to their own devices, they're going to be raping and pillaging and burning and killing, and that's not how it is. Humans are basically innocent, and we have that innocence taught out of us, and that's what makes us vulnerable. But if we would allow ourselves to be ourselves, know who we really are, it reminds me of the song I wrote. I wrote this song. It's called Angel Rain. And one of these days, I'm actually going to sit down and get my guitar out and play it on video. But one of the lyrics is, when we know who we are, then we are free. And there's no such thing as they, because there is only we. It's like when we know who we are, when we know the connection, when we know there is no separation, there's nothing to be afraid of, because we are all God. This is all God. This is all divine. And whatever is happening in your bubble of reality within the bigger context is perfect. And whatever it is the path. And the universe will use whatever is in front of you to bring you home. Home is always one thought, one action, one step away. So I hope that helps, Sage. You said it makes sense to you, so I'm hoping that was helpful. All right. Carly, card number 4. Okay. My guide said I'm not quite done with that one yet. It's really about resistance. Like you have a thought, oh, wouldn't it be cool if I did this, right? And then right away the resistance pops up. Awesome. You know, one of my favorite things in the world, Sage, is that video of you singing Savage Daughter. And it's like there's so much power there and so much of your true spirit coming through that. And so, like I was saying, it's like we have that resistance. Our inner child, I already shuffled it back into the deck, but our inner child's like, hey, this would be fun. Hey, wouldn't this be great, right? And that's our inner child. That's our higher self talking to us about that would be great to do. And then right away, our colonized, Western educated brains pop in and says, oh, you can't do that. That wouldn't be right. That wouldn't be fair. Who are you to do that? Whatever it is. And that's yes, I am so glad to hear that. Look out, world. There's no going back. What was I saying? Oh, and so like I started learning how to, like even to the point of manifesting a parking spot, right? It's like I'm going to work at the store to do readings and such. And I'm like, God, the roads are they're always so busy and the parking is horrible. What if I don't get a spot? And so I feel that resistance. And I was like, no, okay, I have a spot. I am dreaming a spot in reality. And then that resistance, as soon as you say that, my resistance comes up like, who are you? How do you know? No, it's not. You're gonna jinx yourself. Don't say that. But when I can feel that resistance and move through it, it disperses like mist, right? It's kind of like that feeling of, it feels the same as like when you're easing your way into a hot bath, and how you have to kind of go down a little bit. Okay, that's it. And back up a little, and then back down a little bit further, and then back up. And it's kind of like that, feeling your way through that resistance. Like, okay, I'm going to push. Okay, that was enough. Okay, a little bit more, and it's like, it's that resistance that is the culprit. And so if you can be free to move through that resistance, eventually that resistance isn't there anymore. And it's like, that's when you breaking down those patterns that keep you caged up. Okay, that's enough porcupine. All right, so card number 4 for Carly. I don't know if you saw, because I shuffle the deck underneath below the camera line, but you heard me shuffle, right? Thanks, Sage. It's good to have you back. You're welcome. And tell Nancy, I hope Nancy's feeling better. So give her our love. All right. So you might want to watch like this afterwards, Sage, and repeat, because card number 4 for Carly is Porcupine Upright. Carly, I feel for you. Like if it hasn't happened yet, awesome. Thanks, Sage. Thanks for watching. I feel this energy of ease. That's the only word I can really come up with. It's like almost like there's been so much tension and tightness, and all of a sudden things are starting to let go, starting to loosen up. Things are starting to fall into place. Things are coming a little bit easier, maybe not totally yet, but you're headed in the right direction, okay? It's like when I used to like have, I went through a whole decade or more technically of extreme panic attacks and anxiety. And the main thing that I learned through that experience was that the answer is always surrender. So this is kind of the other side of what I was just saying, that resistance, right? It's like you start to get anxious, you start to panic, get a panic attack. And so what do? You tighten up even more, which just amplifies it, tenfold. And I learned that when I come into, like, if I feel a panic attack starting, it's like the best thing I can do is let go. Surrender. Don't fight it. Number one, I know what it is. I've experienced before. Number two, I know it's not going to kill me. I know exactly what it is, and I just have to wait it out. It's not fun. I'm not saying any of this is fun, but by surrendering to it rather than fighting it, they occurred less and less frequently, and less, the severity of them was less and less. So you're doing it. It's like feeling that ease, feeling the flow of things falling into place. Okay, so what I'm getting to is remembering, I don't know if this is happening yet or not, but you might find yourself listening to the music that you grew up on, or watching the TV shows you used to watch, different things like that, things that kind of helped you become who you are, and finding, like, coming full circle and finding that innocence, finding that enjoyment. Like, oh my God, that production of that show is so crappy, but I love it, right? And that is your inner child waking up, coming forward, re-engaging with you to remind you that life is meant to be joyful. Life is meant to be played. Actually, I should say life is meant to be play. Not like a player, but so yeah, it's and and there's this thing about maturity, like we think about our the life of a person as a linear line. You're born, you mature, you die, but it's really just like everything else. It's a circle, right? Even like when I'm doing sacred pipe ceremony, one of the things that I offer is to the energies of birth, the energies of growth, the energies of maturity, the energies of to the spirit realm and our ancestors. It's a circle. And so, and I always love using the Dalai Lama as the perfect example, because it's like as you grow and mature and get older, it's not that you're on that line. It's like you're coming full circle and you're beginning to approach childhood again. So let yourself enjoy those things. Let yourself enjoy the things that you used to enjoy. You might have memories coming up that you'd totally forgotten about. You might have, like if there were things, if you had, like I'm always asking people, like, what did you want to be when you grow up, right? And that was a good time to decide, okay, what do I want to be when I grow up? Your inner child is coming up. What did she want to do? Did she want to dance? Did she want to be a vet? Did she want to be a fire person? Did she want to be a doctor? And get kind of a new, it's like this is your second childhood. You've gone through all the hard crap, gone through all the growth, all the challenges, and now it's time for you to come full circle and start enjoying yourself again, exploring new things, adventuring, take new classes, follow your intuition, go for a drive and just follow your intuition and find out where you end up. Start to look at your life as an adventure rather than as something you got to do, right? Because you are enough. You are complete. All shamanic healing is based on the fact that the person, the client, the whatever, is already whole. And we're just helping them remember that wholeness. And so this is kind of a thumbs up to you on how well you're doing, how far you've come in your healing journey, because you've turned a corner and are heading back toward your second childhood, right? So enjoy yourself, have fun, do fun things just because they're fun, not because they lead to other things or they're productive or constructive. Do something just because it's fun, just because you enjoy it. That is reason enough to do something. You're welcome, Carly. Does that make sense? I hope that resonates. All right. Always watching the clock. So I want to say before it's starting to get kind of late. People might start dropping off. I wanted to make you aware, and I'll remind you again at the end. But I'm doing something special tomorrow. It's election day, right? And my guides have asked me to hold vigil. What that means is to stay in prayer, in ceremony, holding the highest vision for the country, for the world, for the highest, possible timeline, the best possible outcome, to move toward love, right? And so I'm going to be down at the Cedar River. And this is all like, this is the plan, but you know, sometimes plans don't work out. But the plan is I'm going to be there from noon until 6. I'm going to have my pipe. I'm going to do intermittent pipe ceremonies on my Facebook page, on Facebook Live. I'll probably be doing one at noon and one at 6 for sure to start it and then to close the circle. And then I'm going to do a few in between there someplace too. So I hope you can catch one of those, or if you feel like coming and joining me to come and just sit at the river and you can meditate or pray, we can do pipe together, you can smoke my pipe. I'm going to have some oracle cards there. I'm going to have the supplies to make prayer ties, which if you don't know what that is, it's like you take a pinch of tobacco or cornmeal and you blow your intention, your prayer into that, and then you put it into this little square of fabric, and you kind of, it looks like little Halloween ghosts when you're done, but you fold up that piece of fabric, and then you tie it on a string with all these other prayer ties, and at the end of it, like at the end, before I close the circle, I'm going to burn all those prayer ties to release those prayers. So if you want to put a prayer, if you want to come down and put a prayer on that line of prayer ties, please, anytime between 12 and 6, I will be there, and you can come for a minute, for an hour, however long. If you do come, make sure that you dress appropriately for the weather. I'm going to have an extra blanket there to sit on, but if you don't want to sit on the cold, wet ground, please bring a chair. And there are no bathroom facilities, and unfortunately, it's not a very disabled-friendly place. There's a steep little hill that you have to go down, and it's not paved, it's all rocks, and so just to forewarn you. And that I so wish that, because I would love to have ceremonies and drum circles down there with people, but I don't want to put it out there and then have people show up and say, oh, I can't get down there, right? Anyway, so that'll happen tomorrow, 12 to 6. I am not going to listen. I'm not going to be online. I'm not going to listen to any results or any polls or any of the news. And if you do come to sit with me, I would ask you to please respect that and not come like, oh my God, you know. If you have fears, if you have anxieties, that is what this space is for you, to come, to connect with spirit, to say prayers in a sacred, safe space, to make prayer ties. And if you need someone to talk to, I will be there to help you, you know, see through the fears and everything that's going on. But please don't come down and just vent and like. The idea is no matter what happens tomorrow, what it looks like on the outside, we are actively creating a new reality. And that, like I was saying earlier, that unseen reality already exists, and we are calling it into existence. And it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be worried, to have anxieties. I'm not telling you not to do that. I'm not telling you that you can't come and express those to me. I'm just like, keep the purpose of the circle in mind, that we're coming here to heal, to meditate, to laugh, to cry. And if there are feelings we need to feel and let go of, I'm all for that. So you are invited, you are welcome to come, and I hope to see you there, and I'll mention that again at the end of the video. So it's going to be great. I am so optimistic. No matter what comes. It's like I just posted on Facebook today that quote by Joan of Arc, like, I am not afraid. I was born to do this. And that's like, we are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are here in this lifetime on the planet at this time, at this place in American history, so that we can be the instigators of this new path. So anyway, All right, Esperanza, you have waited long enough. Card number 5. Wow. Okay. Esperanza, you got Elk in reverse. That was our first card tonight. You know, for you, of course, there's some of the same themes that I was talking to Emerald about it when it was the first card. But I think that, oh, you're so welcome, Lily. It's so nice to have you with us. I'm so glad that we got to reconnect. Lily is one of my good friends. So sweet dreams, and I hope to catch up with you soon. All right. Good night. So Esperanza, like I was saying, like Elk society is matriarchal, and I think what is being called for here is you need a girls' day. You need more than just a day, but you're running, just like I was talking to Emerald about. It's like you're running yourself tired. Everything is prioritized except you, and it's like there's this need to step out of that rat race, make sure everyone else is okay before I make sure that I'm okay. And I mean, ideally, if you could take, and I'm not saying this is what you need to do or anything like that, but ideally, like if you could like take a weekend or a long weekend, take, 2, 3, 4 days and just get away from your daily life. It's like you're so ensconced in it that you can't see any way out, right? It's like you're just run, like I was saying before, it's like elk running in circles and not getting anywhere, like this endless loop. And we have to break that loop and expand beyond where you are, so that you can get a new vision. You can get a better perspective, on who you are as a sovereign being of your life, right? Now put them antennas up to connect to spirit, rather than judging yourself by the labels of everything. Okay, so you're not sure how to make that happen? Remember the lizard card earlier? Dream it into being. Like, if you meditate or anything, or you just like before you fall asleep at night, imagine what it will feel like when you are like, if you're in a hotel, or if you want to camp or whatever, like if you're in a hotel, like just feel that high count thread sheets against your body. Feel the relief of not being on call. And really focus on that feeling of being free, that feeling of being unencumbered, of being, alone, or like a girl's thing. It can be, elk. When elk comes up, a lot of times it's about spending time with, same gender. It's kind of, the gender thing is kind of whatever, but it's like generally like, you know, for women to have a girls' night out, guys to hang out with the boys or whatever, you know, it's like your friends. It's basically hang out with your friends. And part of that is to remember that you're not alone, that you have more support than you think you do, right? And that there are people out there that want to support you, but you have to be willing to ask. You have to be willing to reach out and ask for help. You know, and even your family, you know, if you want to take a few days off, bring it, instead of trying to figure out how you're going to do it and take care of them at the same time, bring it up to your family. Say, I would really like to take a weekend away to myself to recuperate, to recenter, to recalibrate on my own. How can we make that happen? And make it a joint co-creation, right? Work with the forces rather than against them. But, you know, like, you know, if, you know, this is just an example, but like, you know, picture yourself at a bed and breakfast. You don't have to know what it looks like. You don't have to know exactly the details, but just feel, imagine yourself like sitting in bed, this beautiful bed that someone else makes that you don't have to make, and being brought breakfast in bed, or, you know, enjoying coffee in bed, just sitting there realizing there is no agenda, there's no schedule, you are just right there, and feel that, and you know, and try to think of like what the smells are like. You can, if it's a bed and breakfast, you can smell them preparing breakfast or whatever, hear the sound of the birds outside, and like I said, feel the sheets on your skin. Bring in as many senses as you can, and focus on the feeling of it, and just keep going. Keep focusing on that. No matter whether you believe you can do it or not, right? It's kind of that suspension of disbelief kind of thing. It's like, okay, I'm going to daydream this. In a perfect world, this is what I would do. This is what I would experience. This is what it would feel like if I were able to take a few days, go to a bed and breakfast by myself or with some friends, and just hang out and laugh and get a whole new perspective on my life from the outside in, rather than being ensconced in it. Does that make sense? But it's like right now you're just kind of burning yourself out. And it's like that hamster wheel. You're spending all this energy and it's not productive. You're not getting anywhere, right? So, and I know we've talked about this before, about that needing to prioritize yourself, which I am not a mom. And I can only imagine, I mean, I have so many friends that are moms, and I can only imagine the pressure and the stress and the worry and all the things you have to keep loaded in your brain, all these things, right? And it's still okay to prioritize your own well-being. It's okay and it's necessary to be able to step outside that framework for a little while. Like, step out of that and connect to spirit. That's your true source of energy, of passions, of purpose, right? So that you're not just reacting to what's happening around you and other people's lives. You're actually getting getting your own bearings on what you want your life to be. Okay? So that's interesting. That's out of 5 cards. We've had a pair of twins. We've had two cards that popped up twice. That's so interesting. All right, Valerie, you are card number 6. Okay, the cards are getting jumpy. Okay. Valerie, 5 cards popped out. So, okay, I'm just kind of feeling my way through this. I'm gonna do kind of as best I can do like a quick little shakedown of what all these mean together. But because this happened, if you would like to set up an appointment with me, no charge since this is all free, and I can give you a little bit more details on this than I probably have time to do tonight, okay? Does that sound okay? So I don't, it's like this is the cards that literally were dealt, and so I don't want to just tuck them back into the deck and say, oopsie, and pull something else. It's like, this is Spirit speaking. And so the cards that popped up are horse, snake in reverse, antelope in reverse, jaguar, and lynx. Oofda. All right. Even though 2 of the cards are reversed, this is a really good and powerful spread. Basically, what I see, wow. There is so much good happening. You may not be aware of it yet, which is why these 2 are in reverse, but it's like you're this close to stepping into your power, experiencing freedom and expansion, exploring things that you've never explored before, going where no one has ever gone before. So finding that sense of freedom and wildness, and being able to run without being boxed in, and having that self-assured power that horses have that doesn't have to prove itself. Like when you're next to a horse, you feel how powerful they are. They don't have to say, hey, look at this, right? Like they're just there, and they are who they are, and they are power blocks. So it's like you're getting ready to step into that power and that expansion. I hope you're ready for this, because it's going to be gangbusters. And the other two upright ones are both cats, right? So you've got jaguar and you've got lynx. Jaguar is integrity, and all the definitions of that word, right, is like doing the right thing even when someone's not looking, right? It's like, because it's coming from the inside out. Your heart is your authority. And so if your heart says to do something, you just do it, right? Apex predators. They don't answer to anyone else. They're top of the circle of life, right? And so by seeing to their own needs, jaguar preys on the weak, the sick, the elderly, the slowest of the herds. And so she gets her needs filled. And by doing that, you know, her heart guides her to which deer or antelope to take down. And by doing that, she makes the herd faster, healthier, you know, takes the illnesses out, takes the elderly out. And so the herds become faster, and so it improves their well-being as well. So that prioritizing yourself, listening to your own heart, knowing that when we all get better, we all get better. When you get better, you're actually improving everyone else's life as well. That there is no separation, right? And so to see to your own betterment, nothing can be for your betterment that is a detriment to someone else. Okay? And the other aspect of integrity is wholeness, right? There's no holes for anything else. I was talking about that earlier. There's no holes for anything else to come in, the hooks to come in and to pull you out or whatever. So you're moving toward power and wholeness, integrity, and you're probably already experiencing kind of an uptick in synchronicities, intuitive hits, psychic things. Lynx is the keeper of secrets, and she is like the matron saint of psychics and seers. Because like all cats are famous for being able to see other dimensions, see other energies, etc., right? And Lynx is kind of the master of that. And she sees, when she looks at you, she's not just looking at you, she's looking through you. She sees every aspect of you. She sees everything in your energy field. She can see your issues. There's nothing secret held from her. But she keeps those secrets. She's not the gossiper of secrets. She's not the teller of secrets. She's the keeper of secrets. And so that is, in a nutshell, the job of a reader or a healer, right? It's like to see clearly where someone else is in their life without judgment, without belittling them or, oh, poor baby. But like I just said earlier about shamanic healing, it's about seeing the wholeness of the person in front of you and helping bring that forward, helping the person remember that wholeness, right? That wholeness. And in order to have that clarity of sight, to be able to see the secrets, you can't have any secrets from yourself, right? So you have, like in shamanism, we talk about the hollow bone. It's like you basically get your ego out of the way. You have no filters. You have no shadows that are going to color or distort the information coming through. And so you're not projecting things on other people. You're not telling other people the things that you should be doing, right? So this is a testament to how much work you've been doing. This is a testament to how much crap you've been clearing out of your life. Shadow work, thought patterns, belief patterns, habits, changing all these things to become a clearer channel so that spirit can move through you. So I'm not sure what you do professionally or anything, but don't be surprised if you don't already, if you start doing readings. And I'm hearing psychic medium. I don't know if that's something you do or if that's something that interests you or you're curious about, but I think you're in a nutshell, your world is about to change, right? So then we have these two reverse cards, right? Which is not bad. What this tells me, snake is about shedding the old skin. So it's just that you're still in that process. You're still shedding that old stuff. You're still, like, the old things are still falling apart. You might still feel anxious and uncomfortable because this old dry skin is clinging to you and you just want to get it off, and it's distorting the way you see the world, and you can't see your way forward because snake's eyes are part of the skin that it sheds. So when it's shedding its skin, it is literally blind. So if you're finding yourself in a dark place right now, rest. Everything is unfolding the way it needs to unfold, and you are actually on the right road, and things aren't getting worse, they're clearing up. Okay? You are clearing yourself. This is what I was just talking about, that hollow bone. You're purging all this stuff that doesn't resonate and doesn't support who you are meant to be. And so anything that is taking away from your freedom, from your power, from your wholeness is coming up to be released. That's the old skin coming up to be shed. And so it just means you're still in that process, right? And it's not an overnight thing either. Even once you shed that skin, right, it takes a little bit of time for the new skin to kind of solidify, congeal, whatever the term is. And until that happens, that skin is soft and wet and sensitive, right? So this is a great time of taking care of yourself, nurturing, mothering yourself, allowing yourself luxury and whatever makes you feel better, right? And then along with that, we have antelope in reverse. And antelope is about sacrifice. Not sacrifice as in, giving up something you love so that someone else can have what they love. It's not martyrdom. It's not, working at the factory for all these years so that you're, wasting away your life for the benefit of someone else. That's not the sacrifice we're talking about. The sacrifice is kind of what I touched on with Snake. It's like purging, sacrificing, releasing all those things that don't support you, that can't, you are raising your frequency. You're leveling up, and in that higher frequency, these lower vibrational, darker things, I'm not going to judge them or say there's anything wrong with them because there's not. It's where you were, but you're moving on, and these other things can't exist at that higher frequency. So they are necessarily coming to the surface to be released, to be burned away like a fever, right? And so you're still in the process of that, kind of sorting out what supports you and what doesn't support you. And so right now, in opposition to this feeling of freedom and the hills are alive, you may right now be feeling lazy or like you've got no energy. Like you got no motivation, no energy. You got things you might want to do, but you just can't muster the energy to do them. That is all according to plan. It takes a lot of energy to shed that old skin, right? And so all your energy that you normally would have for outward expression and action is actually deeper within you. Transmuting. Snake is about transmutation. Transmuting the poisons into medicine. And so things are working on like a cellular DNA level right now for you, releasing all these toxins that have been in your physical body, and in your emotional body and in your mental body, etc. This is all coming out to free you up so that you can run and follow your destiny, become that person that you were born to be, okay? So, So say, don't give up. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street light people. Oh, oh. I'm going to keep these out. Well, okay, wait. Let me write them down. I still want to do the community card. I know we're past time. Thank you for all of those that are still with me. I just want to write these cards down so that if you have more... I think I pretty much covered it, actually. Not too shabbily. But if you still have questions, we can still definitely talk about it. So let me know. I want to write these down. I don't forget. But I hope that was helpful, Valerie. Let me know if you want to go into deeper depth. All right. So, one more card, the community card this week, which animal is gonna accompany us, get us through this week that has been filled with dread and anxiety and optimism and hope. Again, if you came in late, tomorrow I am going to be... Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, Valerie. 100%. Thank you, guys. So it's always so validating that to know that I am being a good hollowbone. Anyway, so I am going to be down, if you're local, I'm going to be at the Cedar River in Renton at the Maplewood Roadside Park down on the bank of the river. And that doesn't come up in, like in the Siri, it doesn't, at least. I don't know about Google Maps. But on my Facebook page, on the event page, I kind of wrote some directions. I put a couple of, I screenshot a couple of maps from Siri to help you find your way. And what I'm doing is I'm basically holding vigil. It's like I'm holding space, keeping myself in ceremony and prayer and sacred space to hold vigil, to hold the vision of the highest possible outcome for Election Day. And you're more than welcome to come and sit with me for whatever time. You can come for a few minutes, come for an hour or two, whatever feels right. We're going to smoke my pipe, do the pipe ceremony. I'm going to have supplies to make prayer ties where you actually blow, like you have your prayer, you blow that prayer or intention into a pinch of tobacco or cornmeal, and then you put that pinch into a fabric square and kind of wrap it up and then tie it onto the string. By the end of the day, I'm going to have a whole string of prayer ties, and I'm going to be doing Facebook Live videos intermittently through the day. I'm going to definitely do one at noon when I start to open the circle, and then one at 6 to close the circle. And the one at 6, I will actually burn those prayer ties in ceremony to release all of those prayers, all of your prayers, for a better tomorrow, for joy and love and honor and respect, all of that. So, but know that if you do come to join me, there are no bathrooms there. The walk down to the river is kind of steep. It's not very disabled friendly. And I'm going to have an extra blanket there. It's going to be sitting on the ground like I always do. But if you don't want to sit on the cold, wet ground, bring a chair. BYOC, bring your own chair. But, and I have no, I mean, I have just the basic ideas, the structures, but I have no idea what exactly I'm going to do. I'm also going to have some oracle cards there if people want to come and just pull a card. You know, stuff like that. But it's really to sit in that space of expectancy, of curious expectancy, expectant curiosity. That's what I always tell my students. Like, we're expecting the best. We're expecting miracles. We don't know how they're going to manifest. But we are sitting there holding the light, holding the vision and the vibration of a better world, and bringing that into fruition. And so, especially if you're worried, if you've got anxiety, I'm holding space for all Americans and for everyone. And if you want to come and sit in sacred space and meditate or sing or laugh or cry or whatever you want to do, you could come and write, journal, whatever. I am holding space for you. So I'm looking forward to it. I might be totally like dead at the end of the day, but my guides asked me to hold vigil, and I'm really looking forward to it. So we'll see what happens. It's an adventure. All right, my friends. So the community card. Oh, they're saying not that one. That feels better. Boom. Ha ha! The community card is fox. Be crazy like a fox. Think outside the box. Know that okay, so because of the parties involved, I think this is related to the election and beyond it, but Fox is a trickster. Fox is famous for like glamour, for creating illusions, for making you think they're one place when they're actually someplace else. And that ability to disappear while they're standing right in front of you, right? That cloak of invisibility. That is Fox medicine. And when you stay centered in yourself, and like, I mean, that was kind of a theme tonight, was seeing through the illusion of this world, seeing the dream. And when you stay centered, okay, the one at a time, guys. When you're centered, one thing you might not know about foxes, they have cat eyes. So that same ability that cats have to look beyond this dimension to see energy and everything, Fox has that ability too. And so no matter what happens tomorrow, no matter what happens this week, keep the faith. Keep looking for the light. Like Mr. Rogers said, look for the helpers. Things might not be clear right away. Don't worry. Keep the faith. Keep that vision. Look beyond the surface. Look beyond the facade, because there are going to be tricksters trying to deceive everyone, trying to pretend something happened when something else happened, or trying to, switch the goblets, whatever, and just stay present. Keep that faith in the universe, that the universe unfolds in perfect harmony, that everything happens for the highest good, and that, with all of the people waking up, there's more people waking up on the planet right now than ever before. And this is things are starting to reflect that. So keep the faith. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street light people. And be like Fox. Fox learns by observing. Fox, disappears like the wind, is invisible, but he watches everything. So keep your center. Be the eye of the storm. Don't get pulled into the dramas and you know, the dire circumstances. Know that everything is always working out. Everything always works out. And that we are born to do this. If you are watching this, you are in this time, in these United States, this point in American history, you came here to change the world. And that's not to say that I know what the results are going to be and I know how it's going to come out. I haven't a clue. I'm just keeping that faith. I know that whatever happens is for the highest good, and that we will make whatever happens, will, rather than being something to restrict us, will be something to uplift us, right? Even if it's resistance. It's like, I was thinking about this the other day. A plane can't fly without wind resistance. It's the resistance of the wind coming at it that lifts it up. So if there's resistance, if there are things not the way we wanted them, just keep breathing and know that whatever that is going to lift you, and that we are going to come out. We're going to be okay no matter what. Because again, you dream your world. You dream your reality. So dream a reality, dream a world, dream a country that is based on love, that is based on joy, on optimism, of everybody getting what they need, right? Keep dreaming, okay? That's the best thing you can do. Just keep dreaming. So, okay, I need to get something to drink. And, oh, I got ice cream in the fridge. Eggnog ice cream. That'll help my throat. But thank you so much for joining me. Thank you. It means the world to me for you to spend this time with me as I babble. It's like almost 2 hours now. So I so appreciate it. And this is one of the highlights of my week. And I value your presence, your energy, what you bring to this. Because this wouldn't happen without you. And so please share this video, and if you enjoyed it, if you got something out of it and you want to reciprocate in a different way, I have my Venmo and my PayPal links pinned to the top of the comments. And anything you wish to give is just, it's a blessing to me. It's a gift to me. This is my day job. And so whatever you give to me goes directly into my path, my work. So I'm not like flying to Rio or whatever. This is me. I am who you see. And everything is appreciated. So thank you so much. And pay attention to my Facebook page. Oh, and when we're done here, I'm going to share this to my Facebook page. I'm also going to upload it to my Perching Wolf Studios YouTube channel. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my videos. That helps me get higher up in the algorithms. Like I was talking about earlier, like sharing my video to help expand my audience. And if you just subscribe and like videos on my thing, that changes the algorithm somehow. I have no clue what that is, but it makes it easier for others to find me too. So I would thank you for that. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for continuing to dream. We are all in this together. I hope you come back next week. Invite your friends. Please share this video. And until I see you again, know that I love you, that I see you, and that I honor you. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Happy election eve. And we're going to do this. So I love you. Go shining. Bye.